Yeah, I'm going to call this video, There's a Biblical Reason Why Today's Music is Pure Garbage. There's a biblical reason, prophecy if you will, why today's music is pure garbage. Now, what inspired me to do this video, and I hope it's edifying, especially when I bring out the reason why today's music is garbage. I was watching this video here by my man, the professor of rock. That's him right there. The name of this video is entitled, What the Hell Happened to Good Music? This 80s top 10 will make you wonder. And again, this is from the professor of rock. So what he's done in this video, he took the week of April 5th, which today is what? April 5th, right? He took the week of April 5th, 1982, and the songs that were on the top 10 at that time. And he puts it against the top 10 of today, April 5th, 2023. And clearly what you're about to see, there is no comparison. All right? There is no comparison. Okay? And there's a reason why today's music is pure D garbage. Okay? And I'll show you the scripture. So, he plays the top 10 of the songs from the week of April 5th, 1982. Now, all those songs, I remember those songs well. They were very popular. And it was real music, real instruments. There was no auto-tune. There was none of that garbage. It was real music, real instruments, and real singing. Now, when you put it up against today's music, like I said, there's no comparison. So what I'm going to do is play the part of the video where, because I felt this part was real funny towards the end of the video. And this is what passes for hit the top 10 of today, what you're about to hear in 2023. And he puts it up against the songs that were part of the top 10 back in 1982. And once again, you're going to see there's no comparison. So without further ado, then we're going to go to the comment board. I'm going to read some of the comments because the comments are funny as hell. And then I'm going to bring out the scripture. That's going to be the video. Hopefully you find it edifying. So without further ado, let's get into it. Check it out.
What a finish. Here's what these classic songs sound like in comparison to the current top hits on the charts.
Yeah, that nonsense what you're listening to now, that is passing for music. The top 10, mind you, for 2023. You just gotta laugh. Now that song, We Got the Beat, that was a very popular song back in 1982. As you can see, no comparison. Now, even that song, We Got the Beat, back when it came out, I remember when it came out, they used to play it on the radio. I wasn't even really a big fan of it. Okay. But even that song is better than the garbage that you just heard that's passing for the top 10 for the week of April 5th, 2023. All right. No comparison. Now, there's a reason why. There's a biblical reason why. And I'm going to read that scripture. Are you serious? Are you serious? That's music? That garbage that we're watching, that's music? I remember that song. That was from Huey Lewis and the News. Even that. Now, when that song came out, it was a favorite of mine. I believe that was his first hit, and then he went on to have a few hits. All right. He was on the soundtrack for the movie Back to the Future. He had a few songs on that soundtrack, I believe. But even that song is better than the garbage that we just heard before it. Okay? Really? Really? No words. No comment. Now, even that song from Foreigner, even that's better than the garbage that came before it. So clearly you see that the music of today is straight garbage compared to back in 1982. The top 10 that was back in 1982. All right? And 1982 was a fairly decent year for music. Okay? But today's songs just don't, they just don't measure up.
I'm not saying a word. What do you think is...
What I think was the songs that you chose for the top 10 of the week of April 5th, 2023 is pure garbage. That's a joke. The top 10, really? That's a joke. Okay? So let's go to the comment section. Let's see what the commenters had to say. All right, I'm going to read a few of these. This person, Christian Mill, I guess, or M1, whatever. I feel very blessed to have the 80s as my formative music years. I appreciate the 60s, 70s. Well, the 70s is the greatest decade for music. There's no doubt about that. I appreciate the 60s and 70s, but the 80s will always be my favorite music decade, okay? Especially the early 80s. After 85, that's when music started going down. Let's see. This is from Geo Knows. Wow, 1982. I was 17 that year, hanging out in arcades, listening to all of these great songs. What a great time to be that age. There is no comparison to the music of then and now. The quality and the diversity of the music at the time is something we just don't get anymore. Along with those great arcades. Cheers from Ottawa, Canada. A very unique decade in history. A lot of things just came well together in this decade, especially in the case of music. There's a few comments that I read that was pretty funny. This is from Trina Q. They really don't make music like this anymore. Sure don't. But there's a reason for that. I'll read the scripture. From Duane Romana. I totally agree, Professor. Great music in 1982. In the countdown once a week on Sundays, especially with the legendary Casey Kasem. Let me see if I can get to the juicy comments. From Mike Hawthorne. What in the hell happened to music? None of those artists use auto-tune. Auto-tune is a joke. Let's see. Jonathan Sagal. The 80s blows away anything that is out today, hands down. I must agree. Kate Maloney, being raised on 70s and 80s music was the best education my generation ever received. We were beyond blessed. Let's see. From Meister 1551, there's no question that music from the 60s, 70s, 80s was a whole lot better than music today. Oh, absolutely. No doubt about that. This is funny. DPM comparing this week in 1982 top 10 to today's I'm Not Saying a Word actually says it all. Yeah, I like the way he said, I'm not saying a word. There's no words to be said. No comparison. Oh, that's a great song. One of my favorites from this time in 1982 was All the Notes Did It in a Minute. Oh, yeah, that's a great song right there. You did it in a minute. That Girl is a masterpiece, one of his top 3 best songs. Yep, that was by Stevie Wonder. That came out in 82. So there you go, man. There you go. Peter Photopoulos. There's really no comparison. The 80s rule. As an 80s kid, I may be biased. However, anyone who takes the time to truly look into 80s music will understand the significance of that time in music. It had a fundamental impact on music. Thank goodness. By the way, thank you for your amazing channel. Yeah, his channel is pretty good. All right, so there you go. There you go. So now, why is music of today so effing lousy? Well, there's a reason for that. Let's go to the scripture. Ecclesiastes 12:4. Now, this is according to Bible prophecy. That's why music of today is so freaking lousy. All right. And it's another sign of the end of this society, the end of creativity. Okay. It's just another sign. All that needs to happen is Yahawashi got to come and destroy the society, put an end to this nightmare, and then we can start really living. Then we'll get some real good music in the kingdom. Because as far as music of today, that's done. It's done. It's finished. It's done. Okay, it's done. Even if they bring on a good song today, it would have to reach back to either, the style of the song would have to reach back to either the 60s, the 70s, or the 80s. Guaranteed. Okay? It's over. All right? It reminds me of the song by Roy Orbison. It's over. Okay? Ecclesiastes 12:4. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and that's where we're approaching these, people are losing their jobs at an alarming rate. The sound of the grinding is low. You got businesses closing, shutting down. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. That is why music of today sounds like pure D garbage, because it's according to Bible prophecy. The Lord said that the daughters of music shall be brought low. So that's it. That's why. So like I said, even if they made a good song today, even if they did, the style of the song would have to reach either back to the 60s, the 70s, or the 80s. It's over, man. It's done. Okay? All that got to happen is Yahawashi got to come and destroy this society, put an end to this world. As it is written, the fashion of this world pass away. Yahawashi comes, destroys this society, and bring in that new world of righteousness pursuant to 2 Peter 3:13. But as far as music in this world, it's over. It's done. It's finished. And this video that the professor of rock just did proves it. Okay? No comparison. He took the hits from a random week in 1982, April 5th, and put it up against today's music. No comparison. And if I were to read more of them comments, even people that are not that old, in their 20s, would say the same thing. There's no comparison. If they really know and understand music. Music is supposed to make you, feel good. It's supposed to jolt your emotions. The songs that are in the top 10 now in 2023, don't move your emotions. If anything, it gives you a fucking headache. That's what it does. All right? Because there's no real singing, there's no real emotion, there's no real feeling. That auto-tune is just that, garbage. Okay? But that many of your songs of today, that's what they use, auto-tune. So you can't even hear a singer. There's no personality in the person's voice. They all sound like robots. Okay? So anyway, hopefully you're edified. On to the next video.